Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on in to what could be one of the most important, most meaningful videos I've released ever on the channel. Today we're looking at set number 76300. This is the brand new DC Batman Arkham Asylum set. It has 2,953 pieces. This set is going to be retailing for $299.99 USD or $379.99 Canadian beginning on September the 9th. It's actually up for pre-order right now, and this was sent to me early by Lego and Land to do a review for. This is just one of many videos now that I can actually show off the set in its entirety that you're going to see on the channel. As we do for the superhero modulars, there's so much to talk about and go through. Up here on the top, there's 16 minifigures. Here's a little bit of the back. We still have not seen every single room, but it is a corner modular. You can separate the different levels. There's the van, there's the interiors, there's a reference to Superman, and maybe a new modular. Clayface, so much to talk about and go through that at the time of recording this, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. This set, we already know, has 24 bags, making this our first ever Batman advent calendar. On top of that, there's a record-breaking 65 stickers for superheroes. That is the most that any set has had for superheroes. And every single superheroes modular ever since has actually gone up. So here's some stats for you to see on screen here about this set. Comparing it to the previous modulars, we'll touch on a few of these throughout the video. Let's go ahead. Let's build this insane set. All right, so here's the whole thing built. I gotta say, I'm blown away by this. Like, there's some stuff in here that I never expected. And that was some of the greatest surprises when building this. But if you want, you can find time codes and chapters down below if you want to hop around to specific sections. Maybe you want to hop around to just the villains, maybe the ambulance, whatever you want. There's also going to be the iconic Arkham chime for every chapter of the video. But let's go ahead. Let's take a closer look at this set. All right, here is Arkham on its own. The design and color scheme of this is very much inspired by the 2006 Arkham, and it feels that way. Even little bits of this remind me a lot of the Lego Batman movie one, specifically this watchtower over here. But aesthetically, I think it looks really great. It does feel very gothic. I think, in my opinion, it does fit in well with, I think, previous iterations of Arkham, and the fact that this is a modular is extremely exciting to me. We have these pins here in the back. We have a little reference to maybe what we could be getting next over here that we'll talk about a little bit more later on, but there's so much here to talk about and go over. I think that it being a modular in the middle of a city is fine. That is sometimes what Arkham is. It's not always on its own separate Arkham Island. So I'm fine with that. I love that it's an inverted corner modular building as well. I think that is really unique and makes for some really cool play, I think, up here in the front. So just to show you that this is actually a regular modular, we will do a video actually combining and connecting it with all the other modulars from this year. But I want to show you a few things. Number one, again, we've got the holes there on the sides that allow you to connect this here. There's even some pegs included as well on one of the sides. But the other thing is, as well, of course, this can actually separate into individual sections. So the top part comes off, followed by this second floor here as well, which removes like that. First thing here that I'm going to show you is actually what all of these little axle points are for. All of these holes that you see scattered around here, they play a part of this set. Just to show you all of the different transparent pieces and attachments for you to pose the different characters all around the build, which I'll do now. Alright, so there, I've placed everything just for fun, added a couple different posing pieces where it's not really necessary, but I like how this looks and how they've included these parts that you can really make this set come alive. Alright, so we're going to start outside, and the first thing that I want to talk about is this gate. I think the use of this roller coaster piece here is incredible, and how these work is these are actually all stickered, and then you just reattach the 2x2 tile there, and you just adjust it to match the rest of it. You've also got a 2x4 little Mario tile down below that says Asylum. You've also got these newer gargoyle pieces there as well on the ends, which looks great. Again, more connection points, but this gate looks really cool with this little element there, as well as these spears on the end. You've got some locks. Of course, you can actually open up the gate here as well. The gates can only swing one way because of these plates sticking out there. I think that's a really interesting design choice, that you can't have them go inwards. Of course, you've got the light gray trim there, as well as the silver grates and the 2x2 tiles for the flooring. Over here, you could see that the whole courtyard has this really cool fence design that you actually repeat a few times. It has a few different uses, including over here on the side. You've got this window here that attaches to that clip, so you could pop that out if you want to have a figure sticking out here. And you've also got this design here for the window, which looks interesting because the fact that the glass is on the other side, I feel like that's not something too common. But you've also got over here one of 10 security cameras scattered throughout this, and that's actually using a newer piece here. It's like a candy piece, and it's in transparent black, which looks really cool. Coming around here to this side, it's very important. We've got a lot of different references, as well as a little story element that you'll see later on. But on these panels, you can actually remove each of them, and you can see that this one is referencing a couple of different things. We've got a Visit Metropolis sign with Superman and the Daily Planet there. You've also got some sort of, I don't know, you've got a Wayne advertisement there with some money, so someone's taking the little slip to get a job. You've also got hello there with a little paw print. That's a reference to Selena Kyle, and specifically her apartment from Batman Returns, where she breaks the sign to have it say hell here. On the top here, this panel's really cool too. We have a vote for Harvey Dent. That's a poster for when he was running for district attorney, or sometimes mayor. You've also got some graffiti there, ha ha ha, and a smile there as well that looks really creepy scribbled on. Over here on this side, you've actually got a lot going on. So you've got that same design that we talked about before, but it's actually broken a little bit. So they're using hot dog pieces to represent that. So this is where things get interesting. You've got a sticker here that says, "Caution, hitchhikers may be supervillains," which is, I feel like, a reference to the Arkham games, where you see this same similar sign there. You can see you've also got this little hazard sticker there coming out of the spot with the pipe, and this has some mud or some clay, which I think is really interesting. I feel like this is our first reference to Clayface, leaving behind some clay here as he escaped through the pipes. And here we've got our first little instance of graffiti, I believe, from the Joker. It says, "Smile, you're on camera," and he's graffitied on a big smile there across just, I'm assuming, just a regular generic minifigure face. Just looking at the exterior here of this watchtower, you've got some rust there, as well as these speakers, I think, on the sides. And you've got the curved window piece there being used. And you'll see how you can get access to this later on. And then over here, you've got that same build. And there's a huge chunk missing out of this wall. And unlike other previous modular buildings for superheroes, the parts are not included for you to fix that, which I think is a bit of a shame. Up above that, we've got some plain windows here. In the courtyard, we've got this 3x3 tile there with this sticker for a Gotham City sewer, and you've got 3 claw marks, so clearly referencing Killer Croc. You've also got a little leaf there. It's a little darker, so I feel like it's a dying leaf from all of these vines actually growing on the side of the building. So you've got that same design for the windows, and the vines continue up into this middle section, which looks really cool with this little trim there of light gray. Especially over here on the side, I love how that looks with the masonry bricks and these little plates. And then here you can see whose cell is clearly on the other side with all of these flowers and vines coming out of the windows. So there's no glass there. It's just all been broken out. It's the same thing over here. There's no windows. You've got another security camera and this same design for the windows that you saw before. So you've got this really cool angel statue here. It's been vandalized here. You've got all of the little eyes and squiggly eyebrows and mouth graffitied on there. If you don't like the graffiti on the other side of the face, there is this generic female face. The wings are really neat. I love the look of this. Over here on the other side, you've got the same window design. The windows are not actually inverted there, but you do have this little air conditioning unit. I haven't spoken about this. The pieces here look really great for this side little trim, but you've also got the thicker ones here for the center. And this whole center section is just a remarkable build, how that is actually connected. And you'll see it more when we look from the inside. It's really crazy. You've got so many windows in behind there and a really cool arch with some detailing there as well. A little bit higher up, I really like this point here and how that looks, just the Gothic architecture and inspiration. You've also got over there in the corner some side windows on both sides. I think this just really draws your eye and is a good focal point. Continuing through with the roof, we've got some Harley Quinn graffiti with some hearts and some diamonds. You've also got here a little spotlight that you can actually turn as well and move up and down. You could place figures there on the top and the side too. Over here, we've got a little window that actually does lead into the attic. You've got some penguin graffiti there. And over here in the back, we have Harley and Ivy in a heart with a Venus flytrap and a little diamond. Nothing going on here, just some masonry bricks and spots for you to pose figures. Over here, you've got a small little chimney there. You've got a sticker with some cobwebs and some actual wooden beams like being attached there, those planks and masonry bricks. You've got some Riddler graffiti over here on this side. Here you've got a stud there for you to place figures. Again, another little window into the attic. Then you've got a similar little design there with some cobwebs and planks. On the roof here, you've got this water tower with some graffiti on it. That's obviously from the Joker with the ha-ha-has. Let's look inside, though. I want to show you. Inside, there's not water, but instead, there's some medium nougat and dark orange there. So I wonder if that's another Clayface reference. You've also got ample space to place some minifigures there. In the back, you've got a little spot to attach a figure as well as another air conditioning unit. Up here on the top of this roof, you've got this bigger chimney as well as this spot here for a vent or a fan, and that you can attach characters to again that you saw before. All right, so here we've got stickers there that says Arkham Asylum, 2 lights on both sides, 2 silver bowls, which look great on these corner pedestals. The steps are amazing though, how this is built, I think just layering there on top of each other. And then you've also got the doors that you don't push inwards, you actually have to open up. Let's go ahead and let's step inside. You could see there's actually a whole checkered floor design, which I think looks really cool. I'm going to bring this closer just for you to see. This doorway here is supposed to be a little x-ray machine. There's a computer panel there. And removing that, you could see that someone is trying to smuggle in a spoon. The spoon will play a more important role as we continue. But when you're delivering a patient, just like we see with Batman dropping off the Joker at the start of the first Arkham game, you have to check him in, which is what's going on here in the security section. All right, so looking at this wall first, we've got the security camera on the wall as well as 4 monitors, and they're actually showing 4 different sections of the asylum. So Joker, I think, is in his maximum security cell there, or he's taken over one of the cameras. You'll see this spot in a bit. That's the Scarecrow. We've got Bane working out in his cell, and then there's one that's all staticky. You've also got over here in the corner this clock. This clock actually has the time when Martha and Thomas Wayne were killed at 10:47. Over here at the desk, you've got a couple of different things. You've got a keyboard and that red button, I think, for an alarm. You have in the corner there this newspaper that says Gotham City News, The Batman Returns, and that's recreating a classic cover from The Dark Knight Returns. On that computer monitor there, you could see Clayface. Just to show you this up close, we've got Wayne Tech being used here, as well as you could see through the camera, it's a picture of Clayface having his mugshot taken. You could see on this wall that you've got this 2x6 tile there with a sticker on it, and you could see the height. There's a little shark fin there with some water, so I think that's a reference to King Shark. Could also be White Shark, but on the floor, you've got Clayface being referenced there as well. That's his little nameplate that he was just holding in the picture that you could see is taken from the camera. Just looking at the tile, you can see there's some clay there left behind, as well as 1940. It's a reference to Detective Comics number 40 in 1940 when Clayface made his first appearance. Those 2 studs there are so that you can have the minifigures actually taking their picture. There's a lot going on here. On that 4x4 wall, you've got a lot of different sticky notes and posters, a stand-up special with Mr. J, the Joker. You've got a note from Batman, Also, the spoon is missing, again, tying into that spoon. You have the chemical formula there for photosynthesis. The code there, I think the 1902, that's not a year, that's actually February 19th, Bruce Wayne's birthday. You've also got a map, also sort of an escape plan, I think, of somebody trying to escape into the back alley. You can see here that there's actually 2 bricks on this angle, and that's how the whole front section is actually attached and built. It's really, really interesting. You also have a phone there on the wall. Down below, you've got this table there that says open all cell doors, yes or no, as well as a little keyboard and a mouse. 2 little jars. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be specifically referencing. On the floor there, you've got a periodic tile there for radium, which that piece can actually glow in the dark. I'm wondering if this is a reference to Scarecrow in the 2006 Arkham. You also have a confidential folder there in the corner with a coffee stain ring. There's a security camera there on the wall, as well as this red tile there for an alarm. You could see that we've also have over here the maximum security cell. And you can actually see that there's 2 stickers, one on the top, one on the bottom. And the door can actually open up to reveal a padded cell. The maximum security cell is specifically designed for the Joker, and you can put him inside and lock him away. It's a real shame. I thought that you could actually store the Gurney inside here with the Joker, but the door won't close. So it's interesting that they were sort of advertising it that way in the different promotional images for this set, including the back of the box. The padded cell with all those ingots is really cool. Coming back here, we've got this doorway, of course, that leads into the alleyway. Here in the back alley, we've got a lot of different references, including here above the door, it says not a revolving door, a reference to people calling Arkham a revolving door where criminals come and go. You could see that, I think the Riddler has graffitied on there, unrestricted access area with some exclamation marks and question marks. You've also got a little keypad that you can put in to actually open up this back door. And of course, probably one of the most important things in each of these modular buildings now has now become the trash can here, which has an incredible reference here. Well, a couple really cool things. Number one here, we actually have this pipe, which is really important. Coming back out here to this pipe, we need to remove the clay, but you're meant to actually connect the pipe here to the end, now creating a modular connection point over here on the front, because this is an inverted modular. You also have a bunch of studs here. I've attached them all. What's these 4 studs for? Silver, gold, blue, and purple. Oh, it's for the Lego video games. I love that that is included here. That is insane to see referenced here. I love this so much. Also included is this 2x3 tile there of a Batman comic. This Batman comic is actually very important. It is Batman number 9, and you can see this cover is actually really iconic with that spotlight, but it's also the first ever Christmas story for Batman, which plays a part of the fact that this is the first ever Lego Batman advent calendar. I think that's a really interesting choice for a set, and I love the 3 things included in there. I think that's so smart, and I can't believe that we're getting another comic book cover in here. The trash bin is actually really important here. You can see when you attach it into the wall that when you pull it, you've actually got something going on the inside. References are not done here. On the back of this cardboard box, which is a calling card for the designer of the set, Justin Ramsden, you have this little banana on the back. That banana is a reference to Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas. It's that same company and logo. You have a little snowman out here in the back that Mr. Freeze has created, as well as you could see how the drainage pipe here looks amazing with the little superhero posing piece there at the bottom, but how it's dripping and freezing over. Coming up a little bit higher, I love how the drainage pipe continues here, as well as you've got some pipe sticking out there and this little electrical box that we've seen in a couple of the superhero sets now. And when you pull it, it actually opens up stuff on the inside as well. On the end there, you've got an egg. So I think that's a reference to Egghead. Could also just be this is the Penguin cell. And over here, you've got windows that match the side of the building that you saw before. All right, so you could see on the inside here of the first cell block there on the first floor, the sand blue for the flooring. And then you've also got over here on this side, you've got a telephone on the wall next to this 2x6 tile. The 2x6 tile there says no coins, umbrellas, playing cards, or coolers beyond this point, with some graffiti. So they've said that now with the check mark, it is allowed. And also it says ha 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 at the bottom. Also, it's really smart. It's actually covering up some parts there that allows for this curve. We've got another security camera there, as well as a ladder to get up to the second floor. But we're not quite done here with this section. You can see all the cell doors are currently closed, but when you pull on the garbage can, it'll actually open them all up. So I showed you this before, but it's really easy to pop them all out when you don't have the second floor there. We'll start here in the middle with the middle cell, since it doesn't have anything too special going on. It's actually the most basic one. You've got this bed with a pillow there, and using the little hinge pieces there is really interesting. You could fold the bed up if you want to make room to like exercise. But you could also do things like hide the hole in the floor in this cell, which is really interesting here. So again, lifting that up, you could see that there is this hole that's been dug with the missing spoon there. You've also got up at the top there this little dial and this alert. So I don't know specifically who this is meant to be for. I'm thinking either it's Freeze or Killer Croc to keep it warm for him, since he's a reptile. Over here in this cell, nothing special going on to mark whose this is. But you do have some little orange tiles there on the floor. That is, I believe, supposed to be someone's jumpsuit there that they've taken off. All right, the second floor. This is where I lost my mind when building the set. No pun intended here. I was like, oh, there's literally rooms that we haven't even seen yet, including this hallway here, which has a little bit of a trophy case, and the hallway continues around back there into the tower, which we hadn't seen. I thought we just hadn't seen the tower. There's this whole section here that is filled with a ton of references and different things to talk about. But since we're walking up the ladder there to the second floor, you could see that there's a little bit of a rail there. It's not the most detailed thing, but there's a lot of different things on this wall here that we need to talk about. First thing here, this portrait of Jeremiah Arkham. I love how that looks with the glasses and the hair, the bats in the back, as well as Arkham over his shoulder. Just the fact, too, that you hang that on an angle is so much fun. This tile is a non-graffitied version of the one that we just saw down below. I like the vines attached to that ladder, again, connected to the one cell. So you saw before, again, you grab onto the electrical box there, and the doors will unlock. Again, just popping out each of the 3 wall panels. Nothing special going on with this one here. You've got that bed, again, that you can lift up. Same here for this bedroom here as well. But Ivy's cell is special. You could see the floor is actually olive green, as well as she's got some plants that are growing there in the corner. You've got a little rose in the corner there as well, the same accessory that she has in her hand, and some vines and everything on the wall. And instead of there being a dial, you could see that it's actually been covered up by a little plant. In my opinion, I think these 2 cells and the ones down below that don't have anything are very boring. I would have loved for them to be personalized like this, like whether it is something cool for Mr. Freeze, or, you know, maybe some hay like you saw back in the 2006 one for the Scarecrow. Just actually having it themed after the villains would have gone a really long way. And even if it meant like having a sticker on the other side for the panels, I think would have been really cool and just made this set that much more interesting, instead of wasting some stickers on the roof that you saw before. Those are boring, versus a really cool reference that could have been here. And walking through the X-ray machine, you could see that you've got the same lights and design, but on the computer screen this time, you could see that it's not detecting anything. I think this is what shocked me the most, this little owl piece. A reference to the Court of Owls in here was not at all something I even remotely considered. An eraser reference is definitely not something I ever imagined. And then you've got a red mug, which Justin Ramsden likes to include in all of his sets. You can see that there is the classic Lego fire extinguisher piece that's in a bunch of superhero sets. A camera there in the corner, as well as you've got a telephone, and also there this menu. This 2x6 menu there featuring all of the food, I guess, that they serve at Arkham, which has Laughing Fish Soup, a reference to Batman the Animated Series, chicken legs, and a snow cone. All right, so I've removed a huge chunk of the wall to show you this. You've got here this 2x3 tile, and it is of a calendar. Of course, we have the Calendar Man on there as well, and the month is September. If you count up the days to where the red X is, it's 21 days. September 21st is Batman Day. On the wall there, you've got another camera, and in the corner, we've got this water cooler that's been poisoned from the Scarecrow. We actually saw him do this on the security camera, so I love that it actually has a couple things here. Number one, the orange head on the inside of the transparent bright green dome, that is actually a reference to the 2007 Scarecrow biplane that he had. And I like little cups on the side, as well as how it's dripping down there. You can see as well, you've got the little hazard tiles there for when you step into the tower here. You can actually remove the top part of the roof. I'm going to do that so I can get more light in here. You'll notice that a mug has spilled on the floor. That's because it also had some fear toxin in it. There's a little microphone to make announcements over the PA system in Arkham. You've got a Batman symbol there that looks awfully like the Arkham ones, as well as it's pixelated, sort of like a video game. And you've also got a red button on the right side for an alarm. Another way to gain access to the tower in the little hallway is also by removing this. Connects to these little pins. Also included in the set is Dr. Harleen Quinzel's office, which you could see the sign on her door there. They've written "Ha" over the H-A in Harleen and scratched out her name. We could step inside. You can see that there is an Employee of the Month sign there that's on an angle because now she's gone crooked. And now she has a Most Wanted poster over there as well as Harley Quinn. You can see in the corner there is a sofa for her patients to lie down, and you could see she could also fall in love with Joker there. On the other side of the wall, there is a doctorate there that has been given to Hugo Strange, who's absent from the set, unfortunately. Another really absentee person is the Mad Hatter, who has a little reference there with that teacup and the plate. Very frustrating that that's here. I honestly would have preferred nothing, I think. That would have been better than not getting him at all. Just like Clayface really stings. Over here in the corner on the desk, I think those are two little makeup containers there for Harleen to become Harley Quinn. You've also got Harvey Dent's coin there. And there's a GCPD file there on Killer Croc. You can see him coming out of the sewer, and there's a turkey leg there. You've also got the recording device there so that Harley can record all of her patient interviews. Again, a reference to the Arkham games. You've got a bunch of folders and different things in the corner. You might have thought with the roof in the third section, we've seen all that we needed to see. Well, here's the thing. This is very easy to remove the top parts from. Sometimes the actual little fence pieces will fall off. But it's important to get access to this because there's some hidden details there. Like inside here, we've got a little Riddler crossword. This crossword there says, "Riddle me this," which unfortunately I think is the closest we get to a Riddler trophy. But that's not all. Again, you can easily remove the chimney there and these sections here as well. Popping them off. Sometimes the roof will fall apart, but that's okay. So that we can get access to a ketchup and mustard bottle there, referencing the Condiment King. Also, there's a green cylinder there. Maybe that's relish? All right, the ambulance build. I think this is the best one we've ever gotten. Like, the design and building techniques used in this is really crazy. So there's also a lot of references going on here as well, which is a lot of fun. There's so many stickers even here. There's some scuff marks and different things. Unfortunately, it's not exactly the same white that you see here for the actual bricks, but regardless, the designs is just, oh my goodness, especially here in the front, how they have built that. I won't like spoil it all, but I will say it is probably one of the craziest builds that I've ever done for a truck and a van this size. I think it's really crazy. But anyways, a sticker there, a sticker on the front there for license plate B258. That is a reference to Batman number 258, which is Arkham Asylum's first ever appearance here. You can see on the side that we've got a sticker with the Arkham Asylum logo. That's the same one that you see on the box. And also, on top here, we're just going to remove the panels to show you, we have 7785. This is a reference to the 2006 Arkham Asylum. There's another panel here that you can remove, and this has some more scuff marks there. And then over here on this side, again, same logo, and then some more scuffs. You've also got this little bit of a sticker there as well, continuing the the sand blue stripe throughout this. I think that's really cool. The doors can open up here, allowing you to step inside, but specifically load characters into the back on the gurney, and you can even attach it there and close it up. And you've also got some lights on the top there as well. There's even 2 guns there that have needles on the end for tranquilizing, because non-lethal, yay! Anyways, you can take a figure, of course, and place them inside to have them drive this. There's even a second seat as well, and you've got the mirrors there, and I love the look of this. It's nice, it's simple and clean here, and drives very smoothly. The gurney's really interesting. This design is actually the exact same that we got back in the 2013 Arkham Asylum, but it's been changed a little bit there with the blue. But it is still working the exact same way, that you open this up by detaching the sides and folding them out to have a figure step out of the gurney. And what a lot of the images have you do is actually take some of the guards and have them take over the asylum here and lock them up as well. So there's a lot of play to be done with this. I know that I played so much with the 2013 model that the clips there for the Battle Droid arms actually wound up breaking off. That is how much I would swap in and out characters from the gurney. All right, so here is all of the 16 minifigures here. It's an unprecedented lineup, and it consists of almost all of the characters from the 2006 to 2008 lineup, except for one person. It's got 21 new prints across everybody, as well as 3 brand new cape pieces. So when you're wondering where the price for the set is gone, there's a large part of that going here for the minifigures. Starting things off with Batman, he looks so great here. I love this cape. The fact that they brought this back after all these years is really cool. It's technically a new piece if you look at the back of the instructions, the part number, but it looks great. Obviously would have loved this suit to be based off of the Arkham games, but just seeing this cape here in motion, it looks amazing when you, of course, pose him around the building and have him standing on the ledges. The torso looks great. This is actually brand new from January with the Mr. Freeze figure that you'll see later on, -1 part of that. But anyways, the cowl looks great. It's dual molded, so you've got the white eyes, and that is actually allowing you to put any head underneath and turn him into Batman. You've got this angry expression here on the other side and a very detailed back torso. I will say, as great as that cape is, I think a regular cape needed to be included for Batman so that he could walk around Arkham. But it's not too difficult to get your hands on. Here is Damian Wayne Robin, who looks amazing here. I love the cape. I had no clue that it was actually in motion like Batman. It's got the yellow in lining, which looks great. The outfit too is perfect. We've never gotten this gray one before, and the face looks great. He's got this scared, or I don't know, I feel like that's a scared expression, maybe fighting expression as well, and the back torso looks really cool as well for him. Here is Batwoman. She looks great. It's a brand new figure. I didn't realize this cape here had black on the other side. I thought it was just red. It's cool to see again that piece back here, but it is new because of the red and everything, but looks amazing on her. The torso is brand new. It's a little different than the previous one, as well as the face underneath. She's got a new expression, a smile on one side and this angry expression on the other. The back torso looks really great and detailed. I like the grappling gun that she's got there. The cowl and hair, though, is the same that we had before. Here is Batwing, who is the only new character here in the set, which I think is a real shame. I don't know too many people who are asking for a Batwing minifigure over getting a new villain or something to actually put in Arkham, but I think he looks amazing. Using that cowl from the Batman Forever set works really well for him, and the rest of it in gunmetal gray looks cool with the torso printing. Even the leg and feet printing looks really great. You've got the wings here as well that you can actually open up to have him flying. This is a sticker on this back piece there, and that just attaches here to the little coffee handle parts, and then that is attached to the transparent back neck attachment piece there, as well as, speaking of transparent parts, he's got some orange pieces there for the boots. This is what the back torso looks like, and to show you the head printing underneath, he's got a smile on one side and this yelling expression on the other. Here we have one of the security guards, which uses a city torso there, and nothing new for the legs or the hat. The skin color here, I think, is very reminiscent to the original one that we got back in the 2006 Arkham. And there's no second head print there. He's just got this sort of generic smirk. And here is the other female guard here. You've got a flashlight as the accessory, and she actually has a hearing aid there on the side of her head, and then also a smile. All right, so starting things off with the Joker here. This is the first person we're looking at in the jumpsuits. It's got Arkham Asylum written there fully, which I would have loved to have the double A's there on the back, but I love the leg printing there. I think that looks great, the little pockets and the feet printing there as well. I like that it's just not plain orange legs. I really appreciate that. You do have a little white undershirt underneath so that could be swapped out with everybody. Same with the dark gray hands here. The face here is the face that we've been getting for a little bit for the Joker. He doesn't have a second head expression so that he can wear hats and different things. The hair here, the Superman hair in the bright green, was introduced for one piece, and I have a feeling that Lego just wanted to include this piece since it's new. But for me personally, it would have meant the world to me to see him using this piece here. What could have been if he wasn't in the jumpsuit. But anyways, his accessory is the bang gun, which looks great with a sticker on both sides here. I love this inclusion. Takes me right back to when I was a kid back in 2006 with that Batwing set. I know obviously he's had a bang gun a ton of other places, but with this lineup and everything, it's clearly a reference to that. Here is Harley Quinn, who I feel like is clearly drawing inspiration from her appearance in the Lego Batman movie here. Down to the roller skates there, as well as the hairpiece, which is actually the hairpiece that was inverted in that incredible 4+ set, our only DC set that year. Oh, love that one to death. But yeah, it's the same hairpiece. I love the face that she's got with the bubble gum on one side there, as well as on the other she's got a little winky face. And you could see, again, she's got the same jumpsuit. I have a feeling that this face, though, and I could say the same for a lot of the other villains, I think they're going to be appearing in other sets. But I love the hammer here. You've got a sticker on one side with her diamonds there, and then on the other side, same sticker on that inverted 2x2 gray tile. Here is the Scarecrow, who looks really great. I love the head printing there with the stitches, as well as the big smile and creepy green eyes on the other. He's also got some fear toxin included. He really needed a hat, or at the bare minimum, I think including a hood for him for the first time would have been great, and an awesome reference here to the Arkham games. Like, that would have gone such a long way, I think. Here is the Penguin, who looks really awesome. I love that they included the little short legs here for him in orange, and the fur looks really great there too. He's got his classic top hat there, and if I remove the hat, you could see the face looks very reminiscent to the Arkham games. At least that's the vibe that I get there. No back head printing, because of course it wouldn't be covered up, but the umbrella is a good inclusion for his accessory, and I know that people don't necessarily want him here because he doesn't belong in Arkham, but again, with everything that we've talked about referencing back to that original theme, it makes sense for him to be here. Included for the Penguin are 2 little penguin builds, which is very much a throwback to that original batch of sets. Both getting this in 2006 and 2008. Really, really cute build. I like the use of the new little baguette piece, as it's called, on top. You do have here a revolver in the hand of this penguin, and a stick of dynamite there in the hand of the other to help the penguin escape. This could also be a reference to the exploding penguins in the video game being one of his abilities. Here's Killer Croc, who looks so cool. I love that he's got this head print there with the scales on the back and this big smile on the other, the red eyes as well. He's also chained up, which I think is interesting, sort of reminiscent to his appearance in the Arkham games. He does have a turkey leg there as well, and I know that people want him to be a big fig but it just doesn't make sense for the set. It's also a throwback to the original Batman theme. Here is Bane, who looks so cool. I love this figure a lot because it is reminiscent to like the Lego Dimensions one, as well as the original one from 2012, and of course way back in the day too, in 2007. But I love the mask. I think that's the best Bane mask that we've ever gotten. I also like the little weight build that they've got for him to work out here in prison. The Venom canister build here in the back is interesting with that dial, and you can see on the back of the head there's even some lines there on the side, but you can see the one main Venom tube going straight into his head. Here is Catwoman, who looks great. I think using the Black Panther ears works well for her, but I like the back head printing there, the back torso, as well as the front and how that ties into the leg printing there. That's from superheroes that a bunch of people use. The face looks great with the red goggles and everything. She's a little pale, which I think is fitting for her as well. She's got this 1x2 tile there for some cat food, which is from some existing Lego sets. And then you've also got a whip. Here is the Riddler, who in my opinion is the best he's ever looked. I love the jacket here. The back torso with that purple question mark, as well as the bowler hat with the question mark there in gold. The domino mask looks great. It's so detailed, as well as the torso. I like the little clip there for the tie, how the question mark actually continues down into the 3 buttons. The little question marks on the side. Would have loved leg printing, but I understand he's already getting all this new stuff. And he's got the gold crowbar there for his question mark cane. Here is Poison Ivy, who looks amazing. I think this is also maybe the best she's ever looked. I really love this a lot. I know some people will say the Lego Batman movie, but this here, the green skin in this outfit, it just is screaming Arkham to me. She's a flower there in the Glinda hair there, recolored in red. And if you remove that, I feel like it doesn't sit properly on the head, just to note. But she's got this angry expression on one side and all of these little plants and vines growing on the side. A smirk on the other side. Look at that back torso. Oh my goodness. As well as this flower here as well. And the leg printing. Oh my goodness. This is an Ivy we've been dying to get. Here is Mr. Freeze, who is a little bit different than the one that we got back in January, with this light blue oxygen tank there included for classic space fans to get, which is really cool. You've also got a freeze gun there, as well as the crystals on the end for a freezing effect. This big dome was introduced here from the Batman the Animated Series. I love the goggles there. That looks great. He's even got the strap there on the back of the head. And you can see this is what the back torso printing looks like. This was inspired by like a coloring page or Hot Wheels or something random. I remember back in January we talked about it. Now, obviously, I could spend a whole lot of time talking about who should have been included in here, who's missing from the set, and that's going to be a separate video. Notably, I think the most glaring omission in the set is Two-Face. He, of course, has those references here that we showed before, but it would have been so simple to just throw this figure in here. Like, use that same head. Who cares? Maybe recolor the hair to be black, but I think this is such a missed opportunity here. And he's the only one from that era that's not in the set, along with Nightwing, I guess, too. But that makes no sense that he's the only one not here. What happened with him? I don't get it. All right, so the set actually has 2 sets of instructions. Over here on the back, we've got the angel, and on the back of this, we've got one of the little gargoyles from Wednesday on the gate. Anyways, the first instruction booklet is what we're going to spend some time to look at here, and you can pause and read about Arkham. You can see some reference images. That's not dust on my booklet. That is actually the effect that they have here. So interesting little bits of reference here if you want to pause and read. We've got a little note here from the design team. You can see here that it also says that it is the first Lego DC Batman set that is compatible with other modular buildings. So, I don't know. I read that and I get pretty excited. I don't know about you. Oh, some images that I've never seen before, like the guard in the watchtower. You've got some cool references here about Batman and Robin, Batwoman and Batwing. And then we've got some of the more prominent villains here. Joker, Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman. And then also, you've got tiny little information about each of the other supervillains included. But that is it. There's no fun facts or anything throughout this, which I think is a real shame. Anyways, everyone, that is my review of our first ever DC and Batman modular building. I look at that line in the instructions, and I really am filled with hope. And the stickers on the back and the rumors of the Daily Planet, I really do need and want more. We are, 3 modulars behind now, Marvel. And I would love for Batman and DC to continue to get stuff to catch up. And then we go back and forth each year would be really special, in my opinion. But I love this set for what it is. It really is remarkable and a dream come true. I sit here and I look at this, and I know that this set was specifically designed for me, for someone who was around back with the 2006 to 2008 era, the video game and all that. I look at this and I think, wow, this could be some kid's gift for Christmas this year, just like the original Arkham Asylum was for me. This big, massive playset, and now look how far we've come. I could get emotional just talking about that, but what do you think of the set? I think the interior is both packed and a little empty. Like, there's a lot of details in some sections, but there could have been a lot more going on here, especially when it came to all the cells, personalize them, decorate them. I'm very disappointed by that. I know that it's not everything we could have wanted. It doesn't have every reference that we could have wanted. It doesn't have every character, obviously, that we wanted either, but I still love this a lot. This was a set designed with me in mind. Like, this truly is a dream come true for me. What do you think of the set? Be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future LEGO DC Batman set news and reviews, as well as more videos to come with this. I want to put all my thoughts about what's missing and who's missing here, as well as breaking down every single Easter egg and reference, because we did not cover everything here in this video about the importance and everything. So stay tuned for all that. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I'll see you all in the next one.